Welcome to Curiosity Compass, the channel where curiosity knows no bounds. Get ready to explore the wonders of mysteries, facts, and endless discoveries. Step into the mysteries of ancient wonders, where every carving tells a story waiting to be uncovered. To our incredible Curiosity Compass family, thank you for being part of our journey. Your support and curiosity inspire us to keep exploring the unknown. We couldn't do this without you. Let's continue navigating the wonders of the world together. Are you ready to embark on a journey of curiosity and discovery? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join the adventure.
Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. We are diving into the world of hidden features today. The stuff we see every day but don't even notice.
Yeah, those little details that make you think, wow, I never knew that.
Exactly. We've got a fun listicle from Bored Panda to get us started, and a couple of articles about the origins of some pretty common things.
I think you'll be surprised at just how much thought goes into these things we take for granted.
Right. Okay, so first up, let's talk about beanies. You know those knit hats with the little pom-pom on top?
Oh yeah, sure, pretty standard winter wear.
Well, did you ever think about WHY? They have that pom-pom.
Honestly, I kind of always assumed it was just decorative. For looks.
Me too. But it turns out it's actually pretty practical. The pom-pom dates back to French sailors. They needed some extra padding up there.
Padding? Why? What were they bumping their heads on?
Think about being on a ship, especially back in the day. Cramped quarters below deck?
Low ceilings, exposed beams, I gotcha.
Exactly. Especially in rough seas, those pom-poms provided a little bit of cushioning against bumps and bruises.
Wow, so it's like a fashion statement with a history of safety built in.
I know, right? It makes you wonder if those sailors ever imagined their practical pom-poms would become like a fashion staple all these years later.
That's so cool.
All right, here's another one. Notebook margins. Have you ever wondered why they're there?
I guess I've always just assumed they were to make the pages look nicer or give you space to make notes.
I thought so too. But it turns out the origins go back to a time when paper was really precious.
Like super valuable.
Exactly. And rats were a constant threat.
Always trying to gnaw on everything.
Yep. So those wide margins, they acted like a buffer to protect the important writing in the center of the page from those hungry little rodents.
Oh wow, so it's like a built-in rat deterrent force field for your notes.
I know. Who would have thought? And it really highlights how even these seemingly insignificant design choices can reflect broader concerns of the time.
Right, yeah. Resource scarcity, pest control, all those things.
Okay, and speaking of things we still worry about today, let's talk about germs. Did you know that brass doorknobs actually have antibacterial properties?
Really?
It's true. Brass is an alloy of copper and zinc, and both of those metals have natural antimicrobial properties.
Oh, right. That's why you see brass in hospitals and stuff.
Exactly. So those shiny brass doorknobs are actually doing us a favor by fighting off bacteria. Pretty cool.
I never knew that.
Okay, and while we're on the subject of things that are surprisingly cool, how about coins? Have you ever run your fingers over the ridges on the edge of a coin and wondered what those are for?
I've definitely noticed them, but I don't think I ever stopped to really think about why they were there.
Well, they have a really fascinating history tied to the way coins were made and the potential for, shall we say, creative accounting.
Creative accounting, so like cooking the books.
Basically. Back when coins were made from precious metals like gold and silver.
Oh yeah, people would shave off the edges.
Exactly, to collect those valuable shavings. And those ridges made it much harder to do that without being super obvious.
So it was an early anti-counterfeiting measure.
Exactly, it's like a security feature for your money. And not only that, different countries use different ridge patterns to help people with visual impairments distinguish between coins by touch.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that.
Okay, last one for this section, and this one might just save your life. Ever notice the little hole at the top of a pen cap?
Oh yeah, I always thought it was just there to attach it to something.
I did too. But it's actually a safety feature.
Really? A safety feature? For what?
Think about it. If someone accidentally swallows a pen cap, that hole allows airflow.
Wow, that is ingenious, especially for kids.
I know, right? It's a tiny detail that can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're surrounded by these hidden stories and these clever design elements we never even think about.
I'm looking around my house right now thinking about what else I haven't noticed.
Me too. But we're just getting started. Coming up next, we're diving into the secret histories of some truly unexpected items.
This is so interesting. I can't wait.
Buckle up. It's about to get even more mind-blowing. All right, so we've seen how everyday objects can hide secret features and clever designs right under our noses. But now, get ready for some serious origin story surprises. We're talking about things you use all the time, but they're beginnings. Totally unexpected.
It's amazing how some of the most common things in our lives have these totally quirky, sometimes accidental beginnings.
Okay, first up, bubble wrap. You know, that super addictive poppable stuff. Makes unpacking a little more fun.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love popping bubble wrap?
Right, well get this. The inventors of bubble wrap weren't even trying to make packaging material.
Really? What were they trying to make?
They were trying to create textured wallpaper.
Wallpaper. Wow. So like your living room walls covered in bubble wrap.
Can you imagine? It might be kind of fun for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but probably a good thing it didn't catch on.
Yeah. Probably not super practical long term.
Thankfully, they realized those air-filled bubbles would be perfect for protecting fragile stuff. And the rest is history.
It's a happy accident for online shoppers everywhere.
Seriously. Okay, and speaking of happy accidents, get this. Vaseline, that miracle jelly that seems to fix everything, started out as a problem for oil workers.
No way, really?
Yep. Back in the 1850s, oil workers were constantly dealing with this waxy substance that kept gumming up their equipment.
Oh, I can imagine that would be super annoying.
Total pain. But they noticed something interesting about this gunk. It seemed to heal cuts and burns really quickly.
So like an accidental discovery.
Exactly. A chemist named Robert Cheeseborough saw the potential there, and after some experimenting, refined it into the petroleum jelly we know as Vaseline today.
So from oil rig nuisance to medicine cabinet, essentially.
Pretty amazing transformation.
All right.
Makes you wonder what other industrial byproducts are out there just waiting to be turned into everyday essentials.
Right. Okay, so are you ready for another surprise?
Hit me with it.
Silly putty. You know that gooey, bouncy stuff? It wasn't supposed to be a toy.
Wait, really? I was just assumed it was invented in a toy lab by people who wanted to make something fun.
Nope, it's actually a product of wartime research.
Wartime research, so like top secret government stuff.
Basically, during World War II, there was this big push to find alternatives to rubber, which was in really short supply.
So they were experimenting with all kinds of different material.
Exactly, and one of those experiments led to this bouncy, stretchy substance.
That didn't work as a rubber replacement.
But turned out to be perfect for entertaining kids.
So a failed experiment turned into a beloved toy. I love that.
It just goes to show you, sometimes the best discoveries are totally unexpected.
Okay, prepare to have your mind blown. Are you ready for this? The foundation for Wi-Fi was invented by a Hollywood starlet,
No way. Seriously, which one?
Hedy Lamarr.
Hedy Lamarr, like the actress.
Yep. During World War II, she co-invented something called a frequency hopping system.
What was that for?
It was designed to prevent enemy forces from jamming torpedo signals.
So like a secret communication system.
Exactly. And it involved rapidly switching between different radio frequencies, so it was really hard to intercept.
And that laid the groundwork for Wi-Fi.
Yep. Also GPS and Bluetooth.
So we can thank a Hollywood star for our ability to stream movies and connect to the internet wirelessly.
Crazy, right? Okay, let's talk about something we all rely on, especially during those hot summer months. Air conditioning.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it wasn't invented because people wanted to be more comfortable.
Oh, really?
The first air conditioner was actually created to solve a problem in a printing plant.
A printing plant?
I know, right? It seems so random. But humidity was a huge problem for printing plants back then.
Causing the paper to warp and the ink to smudge.
Exactly. And in 1902, an engineer named Willis Carrier was tasked with finding a solution.
So his air conditioner was designed to control humidity levels.
Yep. It wasn't even really about temperature at first. It was all about keeping those pages pristine.
Ironic.
Right. Considering we're striving for a paperless world these days.
Ironic is definitely the word for it. All right, what's next?
Barcodes. You know, those ubiquitous black and white stripes you see everywhere these days. Ever wonder how those things even work?
Honestly, I've never really given it much thought.
Well, the idea came from Morse code.
Morse code. Interesting.
Yep. Norman Joseph Woodland was a grad student who sketched the idea for a barcode in the sand on a beach back in 1948.
So a day at the beach sparked a revolution in retail.
I guess so. He was trying to come up with a way to automatically track inventory for grocery stores.
To speed up the checkout process.
Exactly. It's crazy how these random moments of inspiration can lead to such world-changing inventions.
It really is.
It's like those eureka moments you hear about.
Well, we've seen some pretty surprising origins today.
We have. And it really goes to show that invention isn't always this straightforward linear process. Sometimes it's about chance encounters, accidental discoveries, and being open to seeing potential where others don't.
Absolutely. Now I'm curious about what kind of everyday genius we're going to uncover next.
Oh, you're going to love this. Next up, we're exploring the everyday genius behind those clever design elements that make our lives easier. You know, the little things we rarely notice, but would definitely miss if they weren't there. Okay, we've had some fun uncovering secret histories and busting some common myths, but now get ready for a dose of everyday genius. We're talking about those clever little design features that make our lives easier, often without us even realizing it.
It's amazing how much thought goes into those little details.
Right, like those moments when you suddenly realize, wow, that's actually really smart. Okay, so first up, I have a confession to make.
Go on, I'm listening.
I never really understood that little arrow next to the gas gauge on my car dashboard.
Oh, the one that points to the side your gas tank is on?
Wait, that's what that is.
Yeah, it's like a built-in reminder so you don't pull up to the pump on the wrong side.
I feel so dumb. I've been driving for years and never knew that.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Oh.
It's one of those things that's easy to overlook.
Okay, well, I'm glad I finally know what it means. Now I can stop feeling like a clueless driver.
There you go. Knowledge is power.
Speaking of helpful hints, what about those extra eyelets you see at the top of hiking boots or running shoes?
You mean the ones above the regular ones?
Yeah, I always thought they were just for extra lacing options or something.
They can be, but they're actually strategically placed to provide better ankle support.
Oh, really?
If you lace through them, it creates a more secure fit that can help prevent those twists and sprains, especially on uneven terrain.
So it's like a built-in safety feature for your ankles. That's awesome.
Yep. Another example of those little details that make a big difference.
Okay, here's one from the kitchen. Have you ever noticed the holes in the handles of pots and pans? Obviously, they're for hanging them up, but I wonder if that's all they're for.
Well, they definitely serve that purpose, but they also have another clever use.
You tell.
Those holes are often perfectly sized to hold a spoon or ladle while you're cooking.
Whoa, mind blown. A built-in spoon rest. I've been using a separate one all these years, and the solution was right there in the handle of my pan.
It's all about multifunctional design, making the most of every feature.
Okay, next up, a mystery that's plagued me for years. That 57 on Heinz ketchup bottles. What's the deal with that?
That 57 marks the sweet spot for getting that ketchup flowing.
You mean there's a specific spot you're supposed to tap?
Yep. Give the bottle a firm tap right on that 57, and you'll be rewarded with a perfect pour.
No more banging the bottom of the bottle in frustration.
Exactly. Just a gentle tap on the 57, and the ketchup will cooperate.
I am definitely trying that next time I make burgers. Okay, last one for this section. The slot on the end of a measuring tape. Is it just me, or does that thing seem kind of useless?
Oh, it's far from useless. That little slot is designed for solo measuring.
Solo measuring.
You can hook it onto a nail head or a screw, which allows you to extend the tape measure without needing someone to hold the other end.
That is so smart. It's like having an extra hand when you're doing DIY projects. Okay, I am officially impressed with the level of thought that goes into these everyday tools. Now, are you ready to bust some more myths?
Always. What have you got for me?
For years, I thought the blue side of a double-colored eraser was for erasing pen marks.
It's a common misconception. The blue side is actually meant for erasing on tougher types of paper, like the ones used for sketching or drawing.
So it's not about the ink, it's about the paper. Okay, that makes sense. What about that drawer under the oven? I always thought it was just extra storage space.
Another classic kitchen myth. That drawer is actually a warming drawer designed to keep food warm until you're ready to serve it.
You're kidding. I've been storing baking sheets in there all this time. Okay, so I need to start using my appliances properly.
It's never too late to learn.
What about wooden coat hangers? Are those just a fancy, more aesthetically pleasing option?
Well, they can be, but they're often made from cedar wood for a very practical reason.
What's that?
Cedar wood has natural moth-repelling properties.
So those wooden hangers are secretly protecting my clothes from moths.
Exactly. They're like little guardians of your wardrobe.
Amazing. Okay, last myth to bust. Those long necks on beer and soda bottles. Are they just for style?
Nope. Those long necks allow for smaller seals, which saves money on packaging and creates a stronger seal to prevent leaks. Plus, they help keep your drink cooler for longer.
So form and function, all in one. Love it. And I have to mention one of my favorite hidden features, although maybe it's not so hidden anymore. Those Chinese takeout boxes.
Oh, you mean the ones that unfold into plates?
Yes. I tell everyone about this. It's such a clever design.
It is convenient, sustainable, brilliant.
I love it. Okay, we've uncovered some amazing features, busted some common myths, and learned a ton about the clever design that surrounds us every day.
It really makes you appreciate the thought and ingenuity that goes into these things we often take for granted.
It's like we've been on a treasure hunt through our own homes, discovering hidden gems everywhere we look. And now, for our final dive, we're venturing into the murky waters of debatable origins.
These are items whose histories are contested, with multiple theories and ongoing debates about their true beginnings.
First up, the QWERTY keyboard. The common belief is that the key arrangement was designed to slow down typists and prevent typewriter jams.
But the truth is more complex. While it was developed when jamming was a problem, there's no proof it was intentionally designed to slow typists down. Some historians even say it was based on the frequency of letter pairs in the English language, aiming for efficiency.
So the QWERTY keyboard might not be the villain we thought it was.
The origins are still debated. It's a fascinating historical puzzle.
Now let's talk about toothbrush bristles. Ever noticed how those colorful bristles fade over time? Is it just a marketing thing, or is there a reason for that?
It's actually a clever reminder system. Those bristles are infused with dye that fades as you brush, signaling when it's time to replace your toothbrush.
So it's like a built-in obsolescence indicator. Pretty smart.
Subtle, but effective. And finally, let's talk about saccharin, the artificial sweetener. The story goes that a chemist named Konstantin Fahlberg discovered it by accident when he forgot to wash his hands after working in the lab and tasted something sweet on his bread.
Sounds like a classic eureka moment.
But it gets complicated because his colleague claimed he was also involved in the discovery, leading to a debate about who deserves the credit.
So a sweet discovery with a bit of a bitter controversy. It's amazing how even seemingly simple things can have such complicated histories.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of curiosity. The more we explore, the more we learn, and the more we realize how much there is to discover.
I couldn't agree more. From pom-poms to printing plants, from barcodes to toothbrush bristles, we've uncovered so many hidden stories and fascinating facts about the everyday objects we often take for granted.
It's been a journey of discovery, for sure.
And it just goes to show that curiosity really is a superpower. When we take the time to look closer, to question our assumptions, and to delve deeper into the things we encounter every day, we open ourselves up to a world of wonder and possibility. So to our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those aha moments coming.